I think we have to recognize that this is in conjunction with Cirrus Logic, which makes the sound out of your cell phone. Cirrus took numbers from 380 million down to 325. 82% of the revenues is Apple. So the one that's obviously bad. But the second thing is, once again, that decline in revs is the same exact decline we're seeing from every single supplier. So what happens is every time a supplier cuts the same amount, we get someone else who panics. The issue that you have to weigh is Apple cheap even without growth? Is Apple going to have an up year in 2019? Well, you have a fiscal year issue. I'm talking about calendar year. And I think the answer is yes, but I think it's going to be from increasing from service revenue. But we've had a huge number of price target declines.
Yeah, well, it was the sixth Apple supplier to cut guidance since they launched all these models.
Right.
That's a lot. But you've got notes like this one I'm looking at. I won't even name the firm. It's a trading note. The iPhone cycle is quickly becoming an unmitigated disaster. Oh, and that's the kind of sentiment that's going around.
Unmitigated disaster. Well, you know what? I hear that, and I think the unmitigated disaster is selling for 12 times earnings. And that look, to me, the biggest worry is not even this cycle. It's just that 5G, which is the reason to buy, is not coming until 2020.
2020, right.
But I just think this whole concept of how badly this cycle is going to prove to be overdone. Because the same cutbacks are indicating, you go back to parse the statements on the last quarter's conference call. They did not say that you would hear no supply cutbacks. They said, look, it's going to be difficult. I just come back to the idea of, if it is an unmitigated disaster, what should the stock sell for? I mean, look, you know who else is an unmitigated disaster that I think the stock, I'm going to say something that I'm going to take my life in my hands. I'm going to say that the Eagles didn't win because of Mark Sanchez. I think Facebook, which is an unmitigated disaster, is bottoming.
You're not alone in that.
Yeah.
You're not
really?
alone in that. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I've talked to a couple of my hedge fund guys who are, now, by the way, they're often wrong, but they seem to...
Never in doubt.
Never in doubt, but they seem to believe the same.
Really?
And the multiple is low, and the growth rate, even with the worst of times.
So I'm not alone.
They're still going to be up 20% or whatever the number is. Yeah.
But your view is they can make it up on ASPs? I mean, with $1,000 phones now the norm?
Look, am I saying things are good? I think the stock down 17% reflects a lot of negativity, is what I'm saying. And I think that what you have to start thinking about is the ecosystem, what the ecosystem means, what they can run through the ecosystem. What I'd like to ask Apple, if I were to see them, is what else can you put through the ecosystem? Because that is how you eventually get the gap that is solved. I mean, look, there was a time when Procter bought Gillette, and I couldn't figure it out. And then it turned out that there were going to be a huge number of razors, but an even bigger razor blade. And that became an incredibly popular, and it was actually not that bad this quarter. I mean, if you have a huge number of blades, provided that they're not behind that iron curtain that all the drugstores have, yeah, good business.
It's a razor blade business. Yeah. It's an oldie but a goodie.
How do you do it? How do you do it?
No, it's amazing.